right, so if you want to kind of train, you're like, you know what, I'm not a player that's really good with getting the hands up high and staying in my posture. I'd rather have my hands more here at 11, where this is noon, and being a downswing loader. Christina, how can I train for that? Well, here's a great way to train for it and to feel it. It's with the Golf Gym X Factor. Look at this. It's creating an X. So the stretch shorten cycle is actually the X Factor, all right, because you're creating a change of direction from the back, blending the backswing and the downswing, and that creates the stretch in your muscles. When you create the stretch, then the muscles want to contract, and that's where you get that effortless downswing. So to feel it, head to the link below, get this, it's awesome, it's not expensive. It's got a pre-molded grip, which is awesome. All right, step on it with your lead foot. All right, now, I like a wider stance because it helps me get low and leverage the ground. To me, a narrow stance, I can't be a downswing loader with a narrow stance. All right, I think a narrow stance is better for a backswing loader. But if you want to get down here into the ground, you need a slightly wider stance. All right, so this is my width of stance. I like it. Play with it for your swing. All right, so now we're going to get into a good hip hinge. If you want to be a downswing loader, you have to be in a hip hinge. If you're a player that gets into their posture with your knees because you have lower back pain, sacrum issues, or tight hamstrings, I don't recommend being a downswing loader at this time because you could injure yourself. All right, you have to be in a good hip hinge, because if you're not in a good hip hinge, you won't be able to engage the glutes. The glutes are king with the downswing load. That's important. All right, so if you can get into a good hip hinge, make sure you're in neutral spine, so make sure you tuck that pelvis. You don't want a super arch here, all right, because that'll create tremendous lower back pain at setup here. So just make sure you're neutral. Now from here, you're going to rotate into your backswing, and you're going to feel the stretch. All right, it wants to take you, which is awesome. Now, the key with this, and the key to the success of this, is to make sure that it doesn't take you. All right, your body is super stretched, and if you don't have control of it, you'll come over the top. So instead, you got to get to the top and then get that lead butt on the imaginary wall. All right, so that creates the downswing load. Your body's going to go down into the ground when you do it, boom, and you're going to create the stretch in your muscles. You can see that my chest is back here. All right, and then from there, it's just, you don't even have to think about it. You just go. Phenomenal. Just make sure your head is quiet. All right, keep your eye line quiet as you whiz on by with your body. All right, see a lot of players in a passionate effort trying to create that speed do it with their head. All right, primarily the upper body, and the head's going to go with it. All right, if your head gets ahead of the ball, you're dead. So it's really important to sequence this. All right, when I do this with players for the first time, they're like, whoa, are you serious? This is the golf swing? I'm like, yep. All right, and look what it does to my trail elbow. It gets it right in front. All right, another way to train for it is with my More Powers training ball. All you'll need is the ball and the wall. It's a great way to train it. Yep, there you go. Now get your lead butt on the wall. All right, so it just helps you sequence the golf swing, helps you to leverage the ground by engaging the glutes, all right, doing the butt move, all right, making sure you stay in sequence so you can really feel the stretch, all right, so you can get that tremendous contraction when you let go, and that creates that effortless downswing. Now, as a backswing loader, all right, if you're a player that really wants to get their hands high but stay in your posture, this will be it. All right, so you want to create the stretch and get your hands up as high as possible while staying in your posture. All right, by having this on your front foot, it's really challenging for you to stand up out of your posture. I guess you could do it. All right, but you're gonna immediately sense, all right, was something wrong here. This doesn't look like a golf swing. All right, so you want to stay in your posture, boom, and get the hands up high. Let's talk about a backswing loader for a second. There's two ways, in my opinion, to be a backswing loader, and this is just generally speaking. All right, you could be a backswing loader where you get your hands up high, you're in your posture here, you get your hands up high, and you actually lose your hip flexion. All right? Players that kind of rise up like this. They lift the front foot and they go up. Right? These are the long drive these are the long drive hitters where they go up, so then they can come crashing down. All right, they crash down back into their hip flexion. So they're here, and then they go. All right, tremendous. Those are backswing and downswing loaders. They're both. If you can combine those two, crazy distance. And that's the long drive tour hitters. They do both. They backswing load and downswing load. And it's a very challenging move. Bryson does it really well. All right, so he goes up. What comes up must come down. All right, so then you come down, but he has tremendous stability power where he puts on the brake and creates the downswing load, and then he uses that leverage to kill it. All right, so if you have that talent where you can go crazy high out of your posture, boom, and get back into your posture, all the power to you. That's insane. All right, I don't have that talent for sure. All right, so if you have that talent where you can go crazy high out of your posture, boom, and get back into your posture, all the power to you. That's insane. All right, I don't have that talent for sure. All right, a lot of players try to get really, really high with their hands, and they don't have that ability, and they don't use their lower body good, so they end up coming over the top. All right, so once you're up here out of your posture, you have to be able to get back into it. If not, you're going to struggle with consistent contact and swing plane issues. So to recap, if you want more pars and power, identify, are you a backswing loader or a downswing loader or a mix of two? So there's really three ways to generate power. All right, and you got to be honest with yourself. What can you physically do? What feels more comfortable? All right, for me personally, I'm definitely a downswing loader. I love it. I just love getting down here deep and really using the ground, having a short backswing. I can generate a lot of speed and force from that position. All right, if you can't, no problem. Get your hands up higher as long as you can stay in your posture and keep the club on plane. All right, so if you have any questions about this, leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer in future tips. Come to camp, learn new skills, meet new pals, and yep, get more pies.